So that was really disappointing. um, but yeah, if it wasn't for that, she was probably going for my highest number of zombie kills, and I was hoping I could wash her with this, but maybe not. I was hoping to get like the highest number of zombie kills and like live the longest with her. That would have been mint, but that's not how that went. And I am slowly adding to some stuff. Like I do not get to choose her traits, for instance. So whenever I make a new character, I completely randomize the traits and occupation and all that crap until it shows 0. Like I don't have to add or remove anything. And then I generally keep doing that until I get one that I haven't got like recently traits of or haven't experienced before, and I'll give it a crack. And so yeah, we were doing that. And that's what I've been still doing for like ages and stuff. And it's like, you know, it's been good. It's been fun. There's been some that have been like absolute pieces of shit to deal with. And then there's other ones that have been like hard of hearing and high thirst and all sorts of stuff. And they've actually been really good characters. I've been really surprised, you know, so yeah, it's quite fun. But after that, like I've got like basic storage. I'm getting a little bit better with not overusing certain resources. Like one of the first things I did was I went and got a shit ton of fuel. I went and I parked a bunch of fuels at like fuel stations, because this was the first map I had where I had electricity and water for more than 2 days. Because most of my maps so far, I've only had like a couple, but most of them I've had like the power and water run out between 2 to 4 days. And so I've mostly played without. And she got like a month. She got like a month of electricity. It was insane. I was just like, every single time I came back into play, I'm like, is it going to be turned off today? And it wasn't. And I was like, oh, okay. So let's go on an adventure kind of thing. So I'm also very casually kind of like exploring the map. It should be late enough for her to have a sleep. So because like I have really good memory for the most part, I don't want to get any like direct information or like alluded to hints or anything like that for where stuff is, or like locations. Oh, it's finally not raining. Because once I know, I will know, and then like I'll just be lining for shit in the future. I'm gonna have to see if I can boil up the things. So for instance, I have done most of my town. I haven't done like all the houses. I've been up over here before. In previous games, I never went through this part before, but we saw this last time, and I beelined for this first on this map, and that was fun. We killed a lot of things in there. There was another town I went to over here in one of my last games, and it was absolute bullshit. Not sure if I'll ever go back. I went for a drive down here just for the heck of it. We did a lot down here. So I'm kind of exploring stuff. I've been over to like Mulder before, and I don't know like what else. I've got like little spits and spots of like stuff around the place, you know. So I am exploring the map at my own pace, because like I said, if I get told where shit is, or if I figure out where stuff is, like I'll know where everything is and thing, and then it'll take a little bit of the finite amount of like, you know, fun out of it. Crack that on for a second. I'll boil the water. Boil the water, and I'll see if I can maybe cook something while I'm at it, because the water won't take very long. Turn that shit on. And then, have I got anything else? I mean, I could cook rice or whatever, but I'd need one of those pots to be free. Anyway, I'll go grab the other water and stuff. But yeah, after that, like, I'm doing very, very small amount of like dabbling very lightly into crafting. I had planned to get one of my previous girls to do like get a tailoring skill up, because I learnt that you could use tweezers to get threads out of rags, and I have like a shit ton of like torn up clothes and rags and stuff, right? And I can't do anything with them at the moment because the one that had the skill died. So yeah, I've got to get that skill back up. And yeah, so I'm kind of like mostly just kind of enjoying exploring and figuring stuff out. But like I don't really care too much if like for building stuff or for keeping animals or whatever the fuck else there is. I'm not at those stages yet, you know. I assume that someday I might be. Can I clean my stuff? I can disinfect my bandage. I've already done that. I could create a stew. Hold on. Have I got rice nearby? Because I could do with creating some food while the stove's on. I have a generator and I can chuck on some electricity. I was hoping she could fucking wash herself, but apparently that's a whole issue. Give me the saucepans and I'll chuck this in there if I can. What else? So I have some stuff to do at work, so I've got a lot of meeting time here. No worries. Selena was hit by a big snowstorm. There's no electricity at home. Oh, your home has got no power. I thought you were talking about a character for a split second there, and I'm like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Nope, that's your home. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not cool. Can I, like, click on shit and just add it to it? Or do I have to, like... I haven't really done much. Holy crap, that's a list. I'm near a lot of things. Add a cube. I've got beans in that. I've got a cube. I wanted to try to make something that's kind of like sensical if I could. Pasta? Yeah, pasta. Beans, pasta. The cooking in this game is actually complex. I generally just throw whatever into the thing because, like, I'm not great at cooking in real life. And I'm like, food's food in this game, right? But yeah, no, you can actually... add like legitimate things to it. Like I don't know if I had meat. I think I've got jerky somewhere I could probably add to it, you know. I thought I saw jerky in here somewhere. Where did that stew go? Can I add random vegetables? Yeah, that will help. Okay, so we'll have beans. There's like a thickened soup, pasta, something like that, and as long as the stove's good for a hot second. And we'll chuck that shit back in there. And chuck that in there. And see if you can fit the tainted thing as well. And we'll try to cook this without burning it, because I can tell you it's going to get burnt. The highest day character was probably like 7 or 8 days. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had like a lot of my like earlier ones. I kind of like either kept them at home or I didn't go out. And so, like, when they eventually got, like, some skills, I'd go out and then she'd fucking die, right? So, I kind of, I was kind of like, nah, I'll just get out there and, like, start trying to kill zombies and stuff and get experience with that. Because I had a lot of trouble with, like, this aspect of trying to aim for things. Because I kind of thought at first you had to be, like, right up against it, which, of course, would, like, cause it to spin around and stuff. So I got dead a lot doing that, but I've gotten better with that. And I also weaponized some cars with the weak girl, which was very interesting because I got stuck a lot and could have nearly died because of that. And on top of that, like I popped a tire and I nearly flipped the cars. And yeah, there was a lot going on with that. That was genuinely concerning because I got like stuck on corpses a fair bit, you know. Is it 16? It's 162,000. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right. No, 16,000. 230 Z kills. Oh yeah, that's a hell of a lot. But it also, I think, depends on which version you're kind of like gaming it as well. Because like I'm on builder. At this point, I will encounter some areas that are so excessively overrun with zombies that I can't deal with it. You know, but also a lot of areas don't have like too much. So when I do encounter them, I get a chance to actually fight them and not die immediately. Because I tried my very first games, I tried Builder and then I went on to try whatever the one up from it is. And I was like, okay, I loaded into the other one and there was just zombies everywhere. And I'm like, I can't stay alive long enough to learn how to play the game. Like figure out how to work an inventory, how to look at something, how to fix something, how to bandage, all that stuff takes a little bit of time. So yeah, once I kind of got the hang of it, I was like, I'm okay to I'm okay to like run on builder. I've got like no urgency. There's definitely times where I get overrun or I do something stupid or overconfident and we get dead anyway. But I actually get to play the game for a little bit longer, which is nice. Let's sit your ass down. First things first, let's sit your ass down. You can have some of that bean soup shit. So sit down. And I was hoping I'd be able to clean you, but maybe not. You eat like a quarter of that. You could probably actually eat a half of that, actually. Maybe. She already eat it. Damn, that was quick. Okay, so yeah, she can have the other quarter. I didn't hear her munching, so I was like, you know. Except for tailoring, neck guard is best, I think. Most reliable. I don't know what that is. At this point, Sensei. I probably have some clothing and stuff. Well, hold on. We have like a couple of boxes of clothing because I was trying to keep some stuff for winter. And we've got like miscellaneous, anything from jackets and hoodies. I had coveralls. Coveralls were good. Coveralls stopped her from getting too coated in blood when she was squeamish to that, which is neat. But I've got like spare helmet, spare pad things for like her elbows and knees and stuff. So yeah, we're hopefully good for winter because I struggled with that and she kept getting sick. My only problem is if she dies in winter, it is really hard to walk her back to the house and stuff. I also got to a point where we got to, what do you call it? I got all the way up to just coming out of winter. And then the game did multiplayer, which meant that, you know, I couldn't, give me that bottle. I couldn't keep playing on that save, which was a bit of a shame because I wanted to see it go like post-winter. I wanted to see how hard it was to adjust after like dealing with winter and stuff because winter was a fucking adjustment, you know. That was a skill issue right there. What else? It's difficult to make your own base because it's time consuming. It's if you want to check out, give you some form of inspiration. Nah, I'm good. I've watched like a couple of like Harvest These videos where it's like massive group event type things, you know, ridiculous, like nothing I would ever do kind of events. And I don't mind watching those because they're not hinting or showing or guiding any kind of like useful actual information. It's usually just like people doing stupid shit to other people kind of thing with like a set time limit and maybe some like parameters set on it, whatever. There's only like a couple of people that I watch that are streaming, what do you call it, Zomboid. And usually, again, most of those people know not to like try to tell me too much or show me too much. Because like if I click on somebody's stream or if I raid into somebody's stream and the very first thing that they do when they hear that like, oh, I don't want to like, you know, I don't know where that is or something like that. The very first thing they will do is usually pop open the map and try to show me and help me. And I don't want that information. And so usually like when that happens, like the first thing I'll do is I'll mute them and I'll look away or click away. And then like, or like in some extreme instances, I'll accidentally click the whole way out of the stream. I've done that a couple of times. And yeah, no, I just don't want to know. Like, I want to figure it out as I go. You know, the enjoyment for me in games is figuring it out. Because, as I said, there's only like a certain amount of time before I will know how to do a good amount of stuff in the game. Like, as you saw, like when I created this game, the very first thing I did was I beelined for, while we had the electricity, I beelined for like the school. I went for like the what do you call it, like the, what is that, like a tire place? I went for that place. I went for like the hardware. I had a look through town. I had not my first girl, I think my second girl was hot wiring and stuff. So once I got hot wiring, I went for a lot of that. I checked out this storage thing that I'd found over Christmas in a private game. And I went all the way up here because I was interested. I wanted to see what this was, and it was super overrun when I found it last time. So I was thinking maybe it wouldn't be as bad at the beginning of the game. And it wasn't as bad. It was still bad though. But I went through here and I like, you know, left a bunch of cars at the gas station, which I filled up and then moved out of the way so that when the power inevitably goes off, I can get fuel. Because fuel for cars and or generators and stuff like that. I found a couple of generators. I think I've put one here and I put one up at that Riverside thing. Realistically, I need one closer to here, but you know, if I go up there, it will work and stuff. But like I figured out how to use those, so I left them there and stuff. And then, yeah, I found these water dispensers and stuff over Christmas. And I found that I could bring them home and they could hold a fair bit of water efficiently, although that one's just facing the fucking wall. But yeah, it was all kind of useful shit. I might put those into just my drink bottles for now. But yeah, I've learnt like a lot, and it is fun. It is enjoyable to, not the bucket, it's enjoyable to like learn and stuff, but I definitely don't want to be like just told how to do it, because as soon as I know it's just not that fun. I will just kind of probably repetition stuff. Like, I've picked this place like 3 or 4 times, and it's mostly because I know that this place is quiet. Most of the time it doesn't have like a lot of zombies and stuff. So I know that if I come here again, like after I wipe out the first number of zombies and stuff, that's kind of it, you know, and I can safely do shit around the place without worrying and stuff. Figure it out as I go, respect. Yeah. It's just one of those, like, in, like, today's, like, games and stuff like that, for sure you can absolutely, like, look up almost anything, or watch a tutorial, or you can watch other people play it, or you can ask people and stuff. There's so much of that around, it's great. But, like, I would kind of, it's not even really about like making it that it's my own like gameplay style or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's more like I just want to enjoy figuring it out. Like the gunshot event just then, I don't know if you guys can fucking hear it because some of these things are sometimes not that loud, but like the first few times I heard like survivors screaming and stuff and saw like corpses on the side of the road, I was like, are there other actual NPC survivors in this game? I don't fucking know, because it always looked like I was just like one step behind it, and they added some update that sometimes when you're going around the place, some of the houses are like all the doors are open and stuff, like it looks like it's like pre-looted and stuff, and like yeah, I enjoy that because it kind of like makes it feel like there's shit going on even if it's not my character and stuff, which also makes it a little bit more realistic when, you know, you die and you're supposed to start as another person that's just existing somewhere in the apocalypse and stuff. And, you know, so because like my girl's the same look every time, right? I make it the same. I've got like a preset for her exterior appearance and stuff, but like the rest of her skills are all random. But yeah, I'm like, I just start like some random house in here that I was that far away from. Hold on, am I even on my town? Hold on. Yeah, let's just say like I die. Let's say I die at my house and I respawn in like down here or something like that. I'm like, there was potentially a survivor in the world that far away, you know, but we never crossed paths and stuff, or we crossed paths and they were the person on the side of the road being eaten, you know. Fun shit like that. Like I really, really want to look up the deeper world lore and like how the virus started and stuff, but I'm also super avoiding that because I'd like to kind of like get a kind of a self-opinion, build it up in the game and stuff too, because like in 7 Days to Die there was no like direct exact like this is what happened kind of thing. Each player could kind of like form their own thought. If you had a look on the ground in 7 Days to Die, there was a lot of like newspaper articles and there were houses and certain places, certain events and stuff that kind of like alluded to what happened, but there was nothing like very specific, and you could kind of like build up the story over time. I like kind of doing shit like that. Like I want to know, but at the same time I kind of want to form an opinion and then go see what like the wider lore is, you know, instead of going, oh, this is what another person's like perspective on it is, because it could be like legitimately what the devs want and shit, what they had planned for and stuff, Or it could actually just be like legitimately some individual's just opinion on it, and then that's like set rule kind of thing, you know? I'm pretty sure I left my boots on me. I wanted to wash her clothes. I boiled up all that water because I wanted to wash her clothes, but I did give her a solid meal, so that's okay. It's fine. Just accidentally. Well, the thing is, sometimes when I raid people, like, it's just conversational. They'll be like, you know, where are you up to? What are you doing in the game? And stuff like that. And more often than not, because, like, I do just openly say, like, oh, I don't know where this is, or I haven't heard of that, or something like that, because I genuinely haven't, and stuff. Like, I don't, like, immediately pick up on the fact sometimes that what's going to happen is that they're going to just, like, try to tell me or explain it. Like, I sometimes forget that they don't just automatically know that I don't want this information kind of thing. And I'm like, it's very difficult sometimes because I'll raid into somebody and I kind of like have to tell them, don't tell me shit, or like depending on where they are. Like I've had a couple of people like I've raided into and the very first thing they'll be is like, oh, have you gone to this location? It will give you like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, shut up. You know, and like leave straight away. Oh man. I mean, I don't mind hearing like people's like perspectives on it and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like the fact that they don't attack. Okay, I do like Zomboid for the fact that they don't attack any of the animals. And I like the fact that none of the animals, well, chickens and shit will fuck you up and stuff, but I like the fact that none of the animals are fucking hunting you, you know? Unlike fucking 7 Days to Die, where, like, you know, you get, oh, what do you call it? You get, like, the dogs and shit will, like, fucking hunt you down, or dire wolves and shit will hunt you down. That shit's horrible. You just want to fuck around and find out. Yeah, basically. How you doing, Yanskis? Yeah, no, I basically do want to just kind of like figure shit out kind of thing. Speaking of, it's kind of late afternoon. She's still agitated as shit. I kind of, tell you what, let's go next door. Let's go see if I could pull up their bed and maybe wash myself in the house. I don't know how much water they've got, but if it's all this issue, then we should be able to resolve it. Also, where did my yard corpses go? I had a pile of corpses here. Okay. There's a fresh tree, so I guess there's that. But anyway. It'd be fine if it was like a mod, as long as it didn't become like the new like staple, you know? Because I've been like mauled by dogs in like real life, right, before a couple of times. And so I have like a really genuinely adverse reaction. I will just about fucking throw my mouse and I will like, you know, basically like spin out and shit. We'll get dead. And then I'll have to come down from like a borderline a panic attack and shit, right? So, yeah, I don't really want that added, but I understand like a lot of people would enjoy having like some natural animals kind of roaming around and stuff. Like you always hear what I assume is like a coyote or something popping off in the background. And I know that they said with the chickens disappearing, like if you have a hutch and you leave it open after dark, there is a chance that an off-screen fox will take a chicken and stuff, and you can lose your chickens that way and stuff, which I think is neat. I like the fact that it's like hinted at, but it's not actually like something that you can kind of come in contact with, you know? Also, I'm pretty sure I like washed all of her clothes a second ago. Did we run out of water? We may not have enough for all the clothing. I'll try cleaning up her weapons. I'm trying to decrease the blood on her to see if this fixes that issue. So this should be out of water. I can do individual things. I know her pants have got like some blood splatter on it. Probably her feet too, you know. But yeah, that for like 7 Days to Die is always something that like would like stress me out more. That's why I built the walls and shit on 7 Days to Die, because I'm like, you'd get packs of things attack you. Like you get like a pack of roaming zombies, or you get a pack of fucking wolves or bears or dogs or something roam past, and they might see you and attack you and shit. and or loiter in the area and stuff. It sucked. So like that was always scary, especially since it was always like first person perspective as well, was horrifying. But like Zomboid, part of why I didn't want to play Zomboid originally was the fact that it was this kind of perspective sort of thing. I didn't feel like this was going to be scary, but like there's plenty of times where like, because you care about your character, because you only have like the one life, and when you die your skills go and stuff, I care about my character, right? So all of a sudden her like encountering a zombie out of the blue and like freaking out or whatever suddenly fucking matters. And that's the scare factor and stuff in Zomboid, as well as just like, you know, sometimes if I take a break and I haven't played the game for a week, I will more often than not die when I return back to it, and that is super frustrating. But like I also found some neat stuff. Like I found a chainmail glove this time, which I think is really cool. I'm like, I didn't know that there was chainmail in this game. It's like a kitchen thing, right? It's a protective, like, stop you from cutting your hand in a butchering thing, right? But it's still something that exists in the real world that could also be super useful in an apocalypse scenario to, like, actually protect your hands. Like, I think it would be very hard to grip certain weapons with chainmail gloves on. Unless you're like skilled or trained in a specific like craft or whatever with it. But I do think that like it would, at least when you're fighting a zombie, like result in less of a possible bite. I reckon they could still bite down and shove that into your skin, right? If they bit down hard enough, because they would be biting down hard, right? The purpose of biting. But like, I think it could still do damage. I think it would probably count more as like a scratch or a laceration or something than say, also I'm aware that you can wash yourself in the toilet and I'm not going to do that. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it could probably like do you damage and stuff, but I feel like it's got more like a protection kind of aspect to it. I don't know how much more water is in this house. There's like one more sink to go, so we'll see. The horse mod is really good apparently. Thank you for streaming Project Zomboid. No worries. Whenever somebody says that, it always really sounds like, this is how I hear in my head is, thank you for your service. That's how I hear it, you know? But yeah, how you doing, Snow Beetle? Also, there'll be no Zomboid stream next week, because I will be not streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I'll be doing rigging. And then the following week after that, there won't be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stream because I'll still be rigging. So yeah, just as a heads up, we're going to miss a week. I wasn't initially, but because I had no internet yesterday, I'm moving yesterday's stream to next Monday instead of shuffling stuff around. So yeah, I think yes, literally. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's what you guys were doing. I'm like, I'll just check because I'm like, that's how it's coming across. I'm like, it could just be me. It might just be how I'm interpreting it. I did not know that Project Zomboid had a horse mod. Mind you, I am not in like the modding scene at all. Anyway, for like most games, I never go in to like see what mods exist. I sometimes hear people mention it, like I said, like in the Harvest Z videos and stuff. I see him sometimes talk about like he's got a mod for like cannibalism and stuff like that, because I had to look up if it was possible to accidentally like consume zombie meat and stuff in this game, because that would just be like my fucking luck. Also, I thought that you had put this on, but maybe not. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so she's fully clean. Probably everything's soaked. Not much we can do about that here. I can dismantle the TV now though, and I do have to go upstairs and see if I can lift the bed. They've got 2 beds, I think. So we'll see. I mean, there's also like a double bed, but we'll see how much I can lift up, you know. Streaming Zomboid next week also, or on break. So I normally stream Project Zomboid on Fridays. At the moment, this is Friday for me in Australia. So, yeah, there's no Wednesday, Thursday, Friday stream next week, but the following week there will be. There won't be a Wednesday stream. There'll be a Thursday, Friday stream. So next week is Monday, Tuesday stream only. the following week is Thursday, Friday stream only, if that makes sense. Can I lift this up? Honestly, I kind of want to take this one.